important there.
My last ban would definitely be Thresh. Just because so many of these hooks were landing from 6. Like, that was game-changing, right, for SK.
Unless they think 6 would like prefer to go Annie and be like, you know, I'd rather you have Annie than Thresh, which I feel like is a rare thing to say. There's actually the Jinx. They don't want Vanillin for the cleanup crew, so a couple of minor changes here. 2 new champions left up from last time. This time around a lot. I actually don't want to say more room for junglers. You've still got a couple of junglers removed, but we'll see. Top lane completely left open. AD carry mostly open. Support entirely open here. You got a lot of things with prime picks right now.
Now, if you are NIP, will you go right back to Zoro0's Renekton, since he is so adept at using that champion's early game to snowball a lead? Like, he shoved it up very well. He got a lot of pressure down. Do you make the changes elsewhere? I think it's still a really good pick for them.
Yeah, I think you do make the changes elsewhere, but they're looking at Vi and Dr. Mundo instead. Vi I like. Vi I like because if we trust that NIP gets an early laning phase lead like they did last time, being able to hardcore engage fights, it's just going to be strong for them. Instead, no. I actually like the Mundo then for a different reason then. Because if we trust... well, here's my thought, right? Is like, if he's going to win lane anyway, give him an individual playmaker who scales in a late game. Like, if SKP was just waiting to outscale Zoro0 and then said, okay, we'll team fight at 40 minutes, you're like, we'll have teleport Mundo, don't you dare. Like, that's an okay change for them.
I mean, I do like the pickup just because Mundo's so strong right now. Saw earlier in the EU LCS when Darien just went ridiculous on him.
Yeah.
He can get to unkillable mode in the late game. We'll have to see, though, because picking up Vi makes me wonder what they're going to combo with Nuke Duck. Nuke Duck, back when he was on Lemon Dogs, would always have a lot of attention from Dexter ganking that mid lane. And this time around, like, you don't want to play Vi like the Lee Sin played last game with only a couple ganks down mid. Like, when the ultimate is up, probably go get Nuke Duck his kill. Get that assassin power up there so that he can start roaming. He can start making plays for your team from the mid lane.
Yeah, he was a big factor of Lemon Dog's success right there. SK Prime, looks like they're going to make their own choices. It is the Trundle picked up there for probably Mozilla again in the top lane. The Lucian AD carries for Vanillin. Didn't get Jinx, so goes somewhere else. But NIP... I guess reading the SK Prime support pick and saying, yeah, you'll go Thresh. Now we get this high priority Annie. We can do something else for ourselves with this, with an even stronger lane.
Toying again with the Sivir that you talked about before last time.
Still want to see the Draven.
Still want to see it? Ah, nope. Okay. Now I like the combo. Sivir's on the hunt is something that Mundo really benefits from in the late game. Even though he already has his own speed buff from his ulti, he doesn't have to rely on that, and he can use it just for the regen when he does get low. Being sped up along with Vi there means that this is a very strong chase potential here from NIP.
Oh, man.
Because Annie on the hunt speed up and then flash Tibbers, the rest of the team can catch back up. Even though she's going to get really far out in front of your team, the rest of the team will be able to catch up with that ultimate.
And of course, they've also saved their mid lane pick for Nuke Duck for last. He'll get to counter pick here. Looks like SK Prime's still happy to look at Zed right now for Exila, and they need a jungler as well. I don't think we're going to see jungle Trundle. I feel like his clear's too slow to really run him there in the first place.
Yeah, but he had a pretty good impact on the game late. But man, his laning phase, he's going to have to work on that laning phase. Versus Mundo, it should be a lot easier because Mundo is especially just running teleport. He's not going to have a whole bunch of kill potential early, and he'll
hope not.
He'll CS up till later. Yeah. But Trundle, again, he's got that percentage health with his ultimate. He can pop that on Mundo this time around as well. There's nothing he can do to cut down the regen though. So he'll probably be forced into taking Ignite and going Ignite into teleport, which gives the global control over to NIP.
So the rest of this champ's like turned really interesting. So I like your analysis on this top lane match. I agree with you here, but SK Prime picked the exact same lineup, but for good reason. They won last time. With Jinx banned, they picked Lucian instead, but otherwise the same champions. NIP actually opting into the same mid lane matchup. They liked the Nuke Duck LeBlanc into Exila Zed. To be fair, it worked pretty well, I suppose. They didn't die, but didn't make many plays. The real big change comes from the fact that the other 4 champions all changed here. And if you have an entirely new lineup to surround LeBlanc with, we'll see how this pans out.
Yeah, I really want to keep a closer eye on the mid lane this time around to see how exactly the exchanges in mid lane are going, because Zed was ahead in CS in that lane. It was just that towards the end game, when he kept on diving into LeBlanc, he would always get confused and lost in the middle of the team fight there with nowhere left to go. So in the late game, it was causing problems for him. We'll have to see if he chooses a different target for his ultimates instead, someone less slippery who's going to
maybe Sivir?
Juke him a bit less.
I feel like Sivir is going to have a much harder time juking.
She's very short range.
Especially
so
the ult would suck, but
it is it would get you in there at least. And her being that short range means that she'll be around for a possible target for him.
All right, we'll see if these guys can do it then. We're going to get into the game in just a second. NIP are one loss away from dropping out of Challenger, and they're going to need to get more points this time around. So they're going to have to be a ranked 5s team and make it back into the second series here in a couple of weeks if they can't hold on to this game. Meanwhile, SK Prime are poised in a single game to get in the top 4 here.
And already I see changes by Nukeduck. So he's opting into the same matchup, but he thinks he knows what went wrong last time. He's not starting out with the full regen flask build this time, going with the ring for more early bully potential. We saw before, he got the early level 2, and for that small moment, he did have control of the lane, and it was pushing Zed back. So adding the extra ability power of the ring onto this means he wants to extend that period of time, play more aggressively versus Zed early.
Well, it turns out that Nukeduck thinks he's got a better idea this time around. And it's not like there's any other adaptations. He's facing the same enemy lineup. He's like, no, I just really chose wrong the first time around. So we're going to see these guys split up across the jungle. Again, no crazy aggressive level 1s. None of them starting wards either. Thor and Shield were both supports. I'm trying to see if there's anything really going on so far. And right now it's just the guys waiting around to start their fights, start their lanes.
Nukeduck's also going to have the advantage of Vi jungle versus a Shyvana jungle. So Vi jungle ganks are going to be a lot more potent in that mid lane. Contrary to popular belief, she does not have to wait to level 6 to gank that lane. Her early level flash vault breakers are very, very potent. So she's even got one really strong gank left in her before level 6. And then post level 6, obviously, that's definitely going to be pretty easy to pull off.
Well, let's see what these guys do. So similar things to last time. The 2v2 lanes go to the bottom, and NIP going to help the red buff there with Zoro Zero. SKP doing the exact same thing there with Mozilla helping out Ginsu. These guys are going to start on the top side of the map once again. We're going to see if the ward coverage is going to help these guys. Pings out of Exila. They know where his ward is, and that might just help Amin when he goes for a gank.
Also, coming from the bottom side river, they might try and trick Nip into thinking that Ginsu started at his red buff, but Trundle also took a little bit longer to get to lane, so they'll probably be aware as to the starting positions.
Yeah, we're likely okay on these reads. I want to watch this top lane. That was pretty important because it was the one lane that NIP did great in. And right now, 0-0 on the back foot. I think that's normal for Dr. Mundo, but he is going to start falling behind just a little bit. Ginsu level 3 right there actually finishes his side of the jungle first. And not too far behind, though, on his own end. Vi and Shyvana now. They're unlocked for ganks. Double buffs are here for these guys. And we'll see if they do anything. Nukeduck definitely playing much more aggressively, using potions, using the Doran's Ring. Did start with W, by the way, and we're just like faceplant into Exile to deal damage and back off. But you're seeing him trade pretty successfully here.
He'll probably be maxing that W as well. Very, very popular with LeBlanc builds these days.
Oh, nice juke Exila. Both these guys have tricks. Not just for kids, also for League of Legends players here. Exila happy to sit in his lane and keep farming, but he has used his only health potion now.
Did you know that tricks are actually not shaped like fruits anymore? They're just little round balls.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's messed up.
Child safety.
Really?
Pretty lame.
You're supposed to put milk in the first place. They melt anyway. Come on, guys, eat cereal right.
So meanwhile, he's going to be a little bit down in CS from that last wave if Nukeduck can actually CS at his turret. But he did just miss 2 of them, both of those melees. So very, very even. Pretty much all around the map here. And the junglers have been so passive. This is what's surprising to me. Even the Vi has not gone for one of those early ganks.
Yeah, well, right now I'm looking at the lanes, right? And it's like the bottom lane is pushing in for NIP. I guess they realize Shyvana's not going to be that threatening out of the jungle. Amin actually starting to make his moves now. Looking for the mid lane here. Here we go.
So he knows at 4 minutes, all of the trinket wards are long gone. It's actually the time for the second ones to be dropped. And NukeDuck calling out that it's on the top side opens up for a good vault breaker.
Good damage on Exile. The root's going to land as well. He's going to flash, but still get rooted. NukeDuck going for the damage, and that's going to be a kill picked up, but traded back. But that's going to be worth it in all chat there for NIP.
Wow, so deep that they actually lose the kill to the turret there, and it's a trade. However, not only was that first blood, it was an assisted first blood, so even more money goes to NIP, that extra 50%, doing a lot. Meanwhile, predictable pattern here from Ginsu. He's returning to the duo lane, going to the Thresh Lantern ganks.
Ooh, he is waiting around on the wings, of course. No pink wards picked up yet. 6 looking forwards. Can he get a flay here? Does he even want one? So he's not going to find it. And I feel like at that point, NMP knows his jungler down there. They actually just pinged that brush saying, might be a dragon lady down there.
There was an early ward there. I'm not quite sure when it disappeared, but it might have seen him on the way over.
Yeah, Annie's trinket would have just timed out about 10 seconds ago. You can count it by the cooldown. When it's halfway, the ward times out. So Zoro Zero's ward just timed out as well for what this is worth. We'll see if Shyvana makes her way up there instead. I don't know if that's going to be likely, though.
As we expected, too, with this top lane, since both of these are very sustain-heavy top laners, they're just pretty much exchanging creep waves here. And even though they're trying to harass each other down, they're not gaining much ground, and they're pretty much dead even.
Yeah, Zoro Zero chugging his only potion in not too long after Mozilla did that. Trading attacks and cleavers and club shots right there. Bottom lane, still no recalls yet. Very equal minion score, 44-40. I'm actually pretty impressed that Sivir, one of the weaker laners, actually among the AD carries, holding it very well against Lucian, actually holding a lead. I think part of that might be Annie, but I gotta say, NIP holding, I think, comparatively a lot better than they were last game in the laning phase.
Same exact gank path here. This time dropping off a pink ward just to make sure. But this should probably be successful.
It's a silence onto Exile. He's already put his clone down as well. Kill gonna be picked up. Pops the ulti, NukeDuck just gonna grab that one. And Amin actually made sure to give that one away to him too.
Yeah, this is pretty much the change I expected. Like I was talking about when NukeDuck was on Lemon Dogs, he had Dexter gank for him a lot. And it's really, really successful. Armin picking up the slack. Now that he got level 6 off that gank too, he could try and make something happen bottom because Annie's been holding onto her stun.
Uh-oh, all the spells just got burns. Vanilla taking a bunch of damage, and Sixter wants to push in, but there's a Vi coming in from behind. The flash away from Annie. So Vanilla's got nowhere to go. Amin is 6. He's going to go for it here. Barrier pop, not going to matter. 6, only one left alive.
So that was fortunate here for NIP because as they were making the call for Vi to rotate down, it's actually SKP who initiated that one. And something really good that Armin did right there was not use his ultimate early. He just walks over to Lucian and waits for the flash because then he knows he has the guaranteed gap closer, catches him after the flash is burned.
But as a payment for that and the attempt at Dragon, Ginsu runs to the top side of the jungle, stealing away his red buff. NukeDuck feeling a lot more confident in this matchup. But Ginsu, again, stealing away Amin's red. It's going to be a little bit, at least, back here for the SKP lineup.
I like that, taking advantage of the opportunity, because at least, even though there were 2 kills that Armin got, he was able to take advantage of the fact that he saw him down in the bottom side. It's exactly what you're supposed to do as a jungler, especially Shyvana. But still, the advantage here, definitely heavy for NIP this time around.
And the other interesting thing as well that I see, that's interesting at least for the SKP lineup, is Blue Buff did go to Ginsu here. He picked it up to help catch up in levels and gold just a little. Really, Exile not needing that buff here, and actually... Ooh, Amin's going to look to try to trade buffs back.
It's pretty funny that Amin was the one who put the pink ward in that small bush last time, but it's been replaced by an SKP pink ward, and Amin did not even check the bush this time around. Smite Wars!
He was going to get it, and it's going to be Amin this time around. Nice pickup there. That's good. He actually missed he missed one a little while ago in the first game of Smite War. This time he's all right.
Well, this one was an early smite by Ginsu, actually. And Amin does make his second pass through the small bush, finding the pink ward.
Another one goes down right away by SKP, wanting control over that side.
They know that a pink ward's in that little bush, though, so it's not going to be that effective. Once you already know it's there, wow, the aggression, he misses chain.
Ooh, some decent damage, though, forcing Exila back out there, who's only building offense so far. Double longsword. And now a blue buff to Nuke Duck. This is only going to get worse here. Nuke Duck's having a much better time in this lane, and now I can see why he really wanted to pick that matchup.
Well, even though there have been repeat ganks mid from Vi and no help from Shyvana, Exila is still up there in CS. He's not fallen behind that much. He's doing a really good job at least staying in there in CS, even though he's been killed twice.
Yeah, and you're seeing that the whole killed twice thing manifests in a 600 gold lead for Nuke Duck. So I still wouldn't be sad if I were NIP. Down 6 minions, up 2 kills. Yeah, okay. Actually, I guess up 1 kill to be completely fair. You're seeing the top lanes hold pretty equal. Actually, interestingly enough, Zoro0 in the lead here in what we thought was going to be a little bit of a weaker matchup for Mundo, but still actually doing a great job and still has the ability to scale the dive in. Mythi's going to jump in. Six going to be in a really bad spot right there and going to go down. 2v3. They're not going to keep chasing. Another kill for NIP.
I like that combo there. Sivir on the hunt, speeding up Vi just to join the fight, and they don't have to use the Assault and Battery, so it's a huge cooldown that they can use to defend the dragon if there's any aggression from SKP.
Yeah, they're just happily fine right here. The dragon attempt
Tibbers can't take it enough. Oh, he's going down.
Goodbye, Tibbers. We knew you well. You'll be back up in about 2 minutes. Dragon's still taking even more burst. Ginsu, he's going to try, but he comes in way too late. Has a flash, but gets bursted down anyway. Not worth it right there. Oh, dear. NIP, huge lead now.
This is what you call a snowball game right now. NIP are crushing it. You gank down bottom without even having to burn every single ultimate, and it was a beautiful rotation over to Dragon after that. Very easy call to make, and they get the objective, plus are fed another kill.
Zoro0. Oh! Mozilla had no mana, and
now he's got to run, though.
Uh-oh. I can't believe Mozilla didn't get that one, though. He ran out of mana and couldn't Q him again. That probably could have been it. Oh, man. Now Zoro0 is going to feel even better about this matchup. None of them have even gone back to buy yet. He's just rich.
They're not making any headway killing each other, so both of them just staying in lane as long as possible. Finally, with that running out of mana, Mozilla has to play defensively here.
Yeah, I feel like he's pulling up Ginsu maybe to sweep a wave or two so he can get the back. But look at this. Amin already feeling this one. Already feeling the gank might come into the low health Zoro0. He's looping around all
Probably
the way
just
to
looking for the dive here, actually.
Yeah. He's going to get spotted by a ward. Ginsu hiding. Now he's been seen. There's going to be a fight right here. Mozilla can't really help, though, so Amin just trading blows and significantly winning that battle against Ginsu.
Love those mobility boots for Amin, enabling him to get there just in time. And Shyvana's actually taking Trundle's spot here as the sacrificial lamb up top. Now it's his turn to worry about getting dove.
Amin did juke the wards. He went all the way around the side towards the blue buff. They're waiting for Ginsu's burnout timeout. They're not even going to go for it. All right, never mind. Nice try.
All right, so they abort that mission, and Mundo just goes to recall. A little bit too dangerous for his taste, I guess. But because Assault and Battery is about to come off cooldown, again, looking towards mid lane, wants to make Exila pay.
And he's unfortunately just going to leave. No kills picked up for NIP. The top laners, though, I want to point out, have gone back to buy. So Mozilla, starting Blade of the Ruin King, but also grabs a Giant's Belt for durability. Zoro0 just one-shots a Sunfire cape at level 10. So 35 DPS Sunfire. He'll be pretty happy.
Trundle is pretty well equipped to deal with the health stacking, though. So I don't think it should cause too many problems here for Mozilla. And he'll probably continue to play just as aggressively, whereas Mundo is really just looking to get that CS advantage.
A small one so far. Exila going to go and solo his own blue buff. I want to see this fight.
Well,
okay.
Never mind. He wants to go hard.
Zoro0 going in pretty deep. It's going to be the ulti popped right there by both players. And Zoro0 really forced down, trying to wait out the Trundle ulti. Cleaver's going to help him back off. And Mozilla, of course, igniting over the Mundo ult, lowering some of that regen.
Nuke Duck going for his first roam, and he runs past the pink ward. Whoops.
Knows he's been seen and says, okay, yep, we're fine. He'll kill that, maybe.
He's too scared because there's an unaccounted for Shyvana.
And there's an unaccounted for Vi as well. Mozilla trying to run away. No flash on him. And that's going to be the Assault and Battery taking him down.
Yeah, no wards up top here. And mobility boots means that Amin can just walk back and forth, top mid lane, and choose whichever opponent overextends more. Looks like Trundle is going to be the one to pay the price this time.
Takes him down 6-1, 4,000 gold lead pretty early on. NIP staying for this turret kill. 0-0 popping as he as well, just to get some more damage on that one. Nuke Duck looking for a trade, gets jumped on. Some good amount of pain. Close one.
Still burning.
Yeah, 33 health while eating a health potion. Very close one. That is going to be Nuke Duck surviving.
That's after repeat ganks, too. Exila really deserves some credit in this matchup. He's doing a fantastic job.
And he's going to get a lot of headway on this turret as well. Amin showing up to try to maybe keep this turret alive. And that will be actually Exila forced to run away from this one. Nuke Duck, a very late recall. I think he thought there might have been a fight available, but not going to find it. Ginsu jumps over the wall to try to start. Ooh, who's going to get this one? Picked up there by Amin. Nice job there on the Smite Vault Breaker.
Yeah, so he gets to combo it with his Vault Breaker, and now Ginsu's going to have to run for his life. What a juke.
Dodges the Q, but it's not going to be enough. Amin picks up another kill, 4-0-3 on Vi. He is everywhere. NIP is probably glad they banned that these guys banned Lee Sin. Exila not in a good spot. Forced to flash. 0-0 does not freaking care. Picks up a kill under the turret, and now down to half health.
So 0-0, again, he's got the same strategy, trying to turn his win in lane into more kills for the rest of his team, more objectives. It's even easier for him this time around because he's got teleport on that Mundo. He's able to get there just in time to cut off the Shyvana.
Very well played. 8-1 and doesn't even lose much to the top lane for the counter push. I guess Mozilla was potentially dead for part of it there. Nuke Duck.
He hit it once.
2.
All right.
3. All right, he's got this one. Good job. Ward finally goes down. That one lasted a bit longer than maybe it should have, but NIP, 6,000 gold, 2 turrets, 8-1 in kills. Such a better game for these guys there. Even Mozilla, the top lane tank, has to give some, definitely has to give some respect to Nuke Duck.
I think that SKP's game plan now just has to be try and put up defensive wards once again and farm out for a little bit later in the game. Because this Vi really is causing so many problems, just running between areas with her mobility boots that are not warded. If they don't put up those defensive wards, then they're going to continue to get caught out. And Vi, she has that guaranteed engage with her Assault and Battery. If she catches you out of position, then you will pay for it.
And you're seeing him just constantly looking around for things to do right there. Dragon back up, pink ward control. A decent amount here for NIP. Actually, not a ton of wards, but at least they know Dragon itself isn't warded. The team coming down pretty much in time. But looks like SKP has some plans of their own. Will they get much out of this one? Lantern's there. Just getting some vision. No smite grab. All right, that's going to be the pickup here for Amin again. So everything really going NIP's way. Very good start to the game for these guys.
If at worst, that was going to be, or at best for SKP, that was going to be just a Dragon going over to Nip because their top laner is up top, no teleport. At worst, they were going to lose kills to an engage like this.
Ooh, good flash from Six, though. Keeps him alive against Timbers. He's going to put the Lantern in for Ginsu. Now, will they get the chase back in? Nah, there's a Vi saying, don't you frickin' dare.
On the hunt, serving 2 purposes there. We got to try our engage and then also run away after it failed and we missed the Tibbers. So
yeah,
able to engage and then get out cleanly after the botched attack.
And to think that was Six forced to flash. A much longer cooldown than on the hunt. Freeze not going to get hit here. He's nice and happy. And you're seeing this bottom lane get better and better here for NIP. 163 to 154 in minions. Of course, Free's been part of a whole bunch of kills as well at 104. 0-0. Chased down now by Mozilla, but just going to pop his ulti and survive. I don't know if Mozilla needed to ignite that. I feel like it's not going to do too much.
He's used to ignite quite often just when 0-0 pops his ulti to cut down on the healing. But since the cooldown for his ulti is so much lower, you know, he really hasn't been able to get anything out of it here. And 0-0 is really just grabbing all the minions, taking the aggression of Mozilla and running away, out-sustaining him and returning after his mana pool is low.
Wow, very well done here by these guys. Honestly, just 0-0 being a pretty happy guy. 25 minions. Of course, had more to do on the map as well. This mid lane, we talked about how Exila actually, to be fair, still puts some threat down. Mozilla's in a fight again. And Mundo might find another cleaver here. Briefcase.
There's 3 people walking around the ward. And 0-0 still chasing because he's got some backup.
Well, they know the ulti's up for Shyvana, but they might still try to go for this one anyway, forcing that out. The rest of the team able to disengage pretty safely. Of course, top lane still pushed in. And, of course, NIP now in control of this blue buff. They have a winning top lane and a winning mid lane. And you can see what they can do with that. They time the buff, and they show up for it.
Yeah, very easy invade for NIP right now because even though the defensive wards are up from SKP, they don't have the manpower to defend the blue buff there. You saw, even in the 3 versus 3, there's not much that they can do.
Not really at all. NIP really capitalizing on Zoro very, very well. SKP, unfortunately, their saving grace could have been their bottom lane, but it just doesn't seem to be. And even Nuke Duck is finally starting to roam right here. This could get worse and worse for SKP before it gets any better.
He knows that they have a pink ward at Dragon, so he wasn't seen coming down that far. But I like this other little ward from SKP just around the corner that did see him get into position in this bush. So SKP should be playing very safe right now. They know they are the next target.
Yeah, they clear things around the river. They actually ping the brush LeBlanc sitting in, saying, you know, Nuke Duck is probably still there. She hasn't shown back up in mid.
I mean, there's so many engage tools here. On the hunt, flash and stun is ready for Annie. You have to play really, really far back.
Well, they've pulled Ginsu and Exila here to try to make this a 4v4. NIP realizes they have been seen on the way over and just leave. Inserting the blue buff could give that to Nuke Duck, but we'll see what he does with it. Looks like LeBlanc will sweep away these minions. No, Alma's going to take this blue here, as Nuke Duck did get the steal a little while ago in the enemy blue. So, sharing the buffs around. Sharing is always caring, of course. But you're just seeing every lane just getting better and better for NIP.
Yeah, the bottom lane pretty much sticking even there as none of the ganks have been successful. But the top lane is again the story.
Yeah.
Zoro was able to snowball this pretty hard there with a little bit of attention from Vi, but mostly just by outlasting.
Yes, he absolutely did. And instead of just completely bullying out, he's just out-sustained here, but is on a much better late-game champion in Mundo. Much more playmaking, much more ability to roam. I know we talked about this during Champ Select, but they've really unlocked Zoro to work throughout the entire game. SKP Prime can't just wait out NIP to win.
They're doing a good job, though. What they want to do is continue to move up the ward line so that they can take away everything in SKP's jungle, and they can deal with, well, there you go. You can just walk away, actually. He doesn't even need wards.
Nope. You just press R and go backwards, and I don't know. This is a couple of times we've now seen people get pulled over to stop Zoro, and none of it's working right now.
Finally got in position, too.
And Vanillin is going to go die. The bottom lane turret's going to fall as well. NIP still finding more things to do, and why the heck not keep pushing?
This is a really, really, really uphill battle for SKP. They're going to have to just group up and make an all-in on some smaller camp of NIP players. Like, if they can force something on a 5v3, a 5v4 even, other than that, it's really, really looking rough for them.
Okay, we'll see what they can do. A couple of souls going Thresh's way. NIP, those two bottom turrets did go down after that kill. Pretty easy to get the second one after the first. Let's see. Still this top lane battle. I guess it's getting a little bit easier for Mozilla. That turret's going to protect him for most all-ins. But the rest of the map still pretty well unlocked. Ninjas in Pyjamas, that's a good steal right there by Freeze. Have grabbed all 3 outer turrets. This siege can continue somewhere else. Dragon's up at 20. That's probably their next target. And another fight here of guys who aren't going to die. And they just
that's
the damage.
That one. I wonder if we had the same voice actor do all the roaring for all of those beefy top laners. Here we go. No ward coverage.
And Ginsu is going to get cut down to size. Goodbye.
That's going to be a Vault Breaker to the face, as well as the burst combo from LeBlanc. Just in time for the dragon here. Now there's no smite to steal it away, so even if Ginsu wanted to jump over the wall again, he would have no chance.
And it's not going to get picked up at all by SK Prime. Ninjas in Pyjamas completely in control of Dragon. I believe the entire game. Should be their 3rd or 4th by this point. And Nuke Duck chilling. So, yeah, beefy top laners. You know, I feel like they have different voice actors. I know the female ones are different because Vi sounds really weird in Korean.
Vi here, we have to shout out pretty much the playmaker for this game. Amin on Lee Sin did not have the effect that they're looking for in that early game jungler last time, but on Vi, it's a completely different story. He went for that gank mid that I was hoping he was going to do early, and it was successful even without him burning his flash. The turret dive, yes, they got the kill trades, but first blood and assisted meant that it was definitely a step up for them. And then an easy return gank after his 6. going for the Zed without flash.
Ooh, Nuke trying to juke his opponent. Is going to survive this one, and Amin shows back up to protect his friend. Looks like Exila does not have flash, does not have his W up until right now, and isn't going to find anywhere to go. Zoro0 grabbing that one with a briefcase.
Secure.
The lane is theirs.
I think Amin deserved that kill. But Zoro0 burned pretty much nothing. He had one briefcase.
Briefcase always deserves it. Mozilla puts the trophy down, doesn't find anything to do. Picked up. Is that Triumphant Rise on the top of that trophy? I guess that would make sense. It looked like either a scroll or a club, but it's all the same color. I didn't know that, actually, that it was Triumphant Rise on that Trundle pillar.
Do you have Triumphant Rise?
I do. I played back in beta.
What did you win, freak?
I won...
it was Twisted Tree Line tournament, wasn't it?
I won a Tree Line tournament. I also got top 3 in one of the solo mid showdowns. I went 1-2 against Reginald's team in the finals. I did win a Tree Line tourney, though. It's one of the places I got it.
Wow, the burst this time from Nuke not able to bring down Ginsu as we saw in the last game. He didn't even go for the kill there, though, not using his Deathfire Grasp. So it wasn't a full-hearted effort. Speaking
of, though, what do you have Triumphant Rise from?
Oh, I don't even know. We won so many things. That was when CLG used to win tournaments all the time, so we had like...
You could have stopped at win.
4 different tournaments or something. We definitely have one for WCG, though.
Yeah. One of the last times NA ever beat EU.
Oh.
It's true. Or Korea.
You already hyping for next Battle of Atlantic?
Already. Wait a year.
That's going to be a while.
It's also one of the last times NA beat Asia either. China had a team. They didn't do too well.
You know, North America just started stealing away the European players then.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good strategy, I have to say. It worked out for the battle. Yeah, it worked out for TSM, definitely.
Yep. Cloud9 doesn't need no European players. They'll just beat Fnatic. You salty Europe? You salty Europe?
I want to see Twitch chat right now because...
Only Team Fnatic lost to in the last, 5 months is American? Okay.
Freak starting fights.
Uh-oh.
All right, we have a group up, though.
Yeah.
All right, SKP are making their move. Even though it's 1-11, they took down the outer turret. Now they're going to get stunned up, though.
2-man Tabor as the Assault and Bounty coming by as well. Exila's going to try to go into the fight to trade a kill. Not going to do much for it. Nuke picking up 2 so far. The chase still in. Zoro0 in the back line. Solwings Vanillan and the rest of the team is diving through for NIP. 3 picked up so far. The chase still 0. Zoro0 just does not freaking care. All 5 go down, and all 5 survive from Ninjas in Pyjamas. 14,000 gold, 16-1. Huge.
IR full armor Mundo. I can tank your entire team and make it to the finish line. Now they're going to work on the inhibitor turret here. This will be an inhibitor down. If they play cautiously, they'll back off here because they don't want to overextend and let SKP do a counter Baron. And that's probably going to be the go-to move because even this far ahead, you always got to worry about the counter Barons. One inhibitor down is defensible. That's pretty easily defensible, especially if you're able to counter with that Baron. So
yeah,
got to play it a little bit safe.
I think my favorite comeback play was I forget if they were Vulcan. I think they were Vulcan by this point. Back in the last season, they got mostly Ace, lost an inhibitor, and then bought 4 home guard boots and rushed Baron. And they got it before the other team responded, and it was a really big comeback play. It was really sexy. Didn't happen here for SKP. Didn't have the money for home guards. You can check items on corpses. If their corpses in vision, you can see them buy items. So maybe NIP saw they didn't buy home guards, but either way, for what it's worth, nothing happening here. NIP just completely in control right now. Geez, they have had such a better game this time. You sang Eamon's praises. I like Zoro0 a lot for this one as well. Won his lane and is continuing to work well in team fights. Just a lot of awesome things. And now actually it's NIP starting Baron here.
So much percentage damage, both with the denting blows and Mundo cleavers. They should be able to get this one very easily. And you can see the perimeter of wards they set up. They'll see any sort of SKP aggression long before they get in range. Probably will be able to protect the smite quite easily.
This looks fairly safe. No one's coming by at all. Red team has slain Baron Nashor. Amin getting that one. 5-0-9 on Vi. He's been part of 14 of his team's 16 kills. Without dying, being pretty good on the smites for most of this game. And just forcing away people.
Another thing that Vi just did right there, I just noticed, little tricks that I've actually seen a lot of LCS Vi's not do, is, he did his Vault Breaker, but right after the Vault Breaker hits, you get the little bump, and that's enough time for an auto attack, and then you activate your E. A lot of people I've been seeing are just Vault Breakering and Eing. You don't get the full Denting Blows combo. Oh, he's got his Zhonya's ready.
And he Zhonya's the Death Mark itself that hasn't even applied right there. Nuke Duck trying to block with his clone, trying to survive, jumps over the wall and survives, and Amin takes down Exila.
This is a pretty big play there from Nuke Duck.
Yeah.
I like the execution on that one. Finally coming up with something flashy.
Didn't have to burn the Summoner Spell. And there we go. Next is going to go down. Surrender. Coming in from SK Prime. 18-1. Ninjas in Pyjamas. Such a better game to last time. I mean, game one, it's like, all right, Zoro-0 winning his lane. Nothing else happening. This time, everybody doing amazing.
I have to say, again, Amin.
Yeah.